My freaky coworker wants us to call her boyfriend her master, and she went over to the big boss to complain, but he shut her down and made her quit. An employee, Sally, started at our workplace about a year and a half ago. A few months later, she got a new boyfriend, Peter. After she'd been with the company a few more months, at Christmas time, she invited her boyfriend to our holiday party. Everything there seemed fine as well, although at one point Peter asked Sally to get him a drink, to which he replied yes, master. In a very I Dream of Jeannie kind of way, we all laughed it off as a joke, and it didn't come up again, until it did. We had an early summer party in late May which Sally and Peter both attended. At this party, there was a good deal more of Peter ordering Sally around and Sally calling him master. He sent her to fetch drinks and hot dogs, and he told her to find a place for them to sit, to which he replied consistently with yes, master. It made several people, myself included, clearly uncomfortable, but there was nothing objectively abusive about it. He never yelled at her or threatened her, and her immediate supervisor and her supervisor weren't there, so no one said anything. After the party, at the office, I overheard a conversation in which one of her coworker friends was like, "So what's up with the master thing?" And she explained that she was in a 24/7 dominant and submissive relationship, and he wasn't her boyfriend or her husband or her partner. He was her master, and needed to be referred to as such. Her coworker was clearly flummoxed and didn't have much response to that. Later, I heard her correct someone who referred to her boyfriend as her boyfriend, saying that he wasn't her partner. He was her master and should be referred to using his appropriate title. She compared it to gay rights, saying that if she was a man, they wouldn't erase a relationship by referring to Peter as Patricia, and so they shouldn't erase the relationship by calling him a partner instead of a master. It's pretty clear that her coworkers aren't comfortable asking her, will your master be at the end of summer barbecue, or did you and your master do anything fun this weekend, though, and thus have just stopped referring to Peter at all. Her direct boss, my colleague, is baffled as to how to sensitively address this issue. My instinct is that there's a very big difference between insisting that colleagues acknowledge that you're in a gay relationship and insisting that they refer to your partner as your master, and that it borders on involving other non-consenting parties in your relationship, but I can't really articulate why. For what it's worth, I am a bisexual woman, and our office has many gay, lesbian, trans, and poly individuals, so it's not an issue of being against non-traditional relationships. It just seems to be that it seems very important to Sally that Peter be referred to as her master, and it seems equally clear that her coworkers find it intensely uncomfortable. Update, we had already told the staff that no, they didn't need to refer to Peter as master, but could simply call him by name. The actual result was that people just avoided Sally for all social conversations, interacting with her only on and about work projects. After reading the letter and responses, my coworker decided that Sally needed a direct talking to about it. She went in with the same arguments that we respected her relationship, but that some details of relationships are appropriate for the workplace and some are not, and insisting on certain titles can fall into that details category. She used the example that we would of course always refer to people by the correct gender, and would never say friend or roommate if boyfriend or partner or husband was correct, but that on the other hand, it would be inappropriate to call someone my lover or my binky boo in the office, that is a level of intimate detail that your coworker does not need or want. Sadly, Sally doubled down at this point, insisting that lover or binky boo or snuffle lubigas or f-koi or whatever should be used if they were accurate because they accurately represent the relationship, and to insist on softening the nature of the relationship for the easily shocked was a slippery slope to oppression. For what it's worth, I get the impression that Sally was not so much naive or lacking in common sense as deliberately pushing the boundary for some reason of her own. My coworker said that she had every right to feel that way, but at the workplace, master was not appropriate. Peter could be referred to as Peter, partner, boyfriend, friend, or as any of a variety of options or not at all, but that master was inappropriate, and that this was a very, very common stance for even a very liberal company to take, and that Sally had probably ought to learn to adjust to it. Sally threatened to go over her head, but from what I heard, the big boss just shut her down with air manager's word stands on this issue, and I see no reason to talk to you about it. Not too long after, Sally quit. I don't know where she is, but I've heard through the grapevine that she's freelancing. I still don't know exactly what point Sally was trying to make. Our organization is really quite liberal and has a lot of Gluckia Plus employees, myself included, but there are still lines. She was trying to push one, I suppose. I don't get the impression that this was masterminded by Peter. It's tempting to think that she was trying to freak the mundane or just wanted to see how far she could push the lines.